Welcome everybody to Wednesday night again. I'm gonna turn the light on. There we go. Let's get started here. Now, we're gonna start on the back because that's what everybody likes to do. So that's what we're doing. It's fine. All right, lay on your back. You can put a blanket under your head if you want. We're definitely gonna be using a block a lot tonight. Although if you're at home and you're watching and you don't have one, I'll tell you what you can do without it. If you do have one, grab it. If you have a blanket, have that handy too. We're taking our first few moments just to arrive. Right? You can lay down if you want to. If you want to sit up like I'm doing, you can do that too. I just want you to be somewhere where you're comfortable, where you can let your eyes close and let yourself start to arrive. This is yin, right? So we focus more on the stretching, the lengthening, the holding. We're doing the power moves. You don't really need to control your breath in yin. It doesn't mean you're ignoring your breath. Okay? You still want to do that same awareness check that you do every time. Start to notice your breath. Start to observe your breath. Let your breath take over. Push all your distractions to the background. Volume up music a little bit. As your breath takes over, find yourself really focused here on your mat, your practice. You find yourself fully present. To your mat, your practice. Yin's not the kind of practice that's going to burn 1,000 calories. It's the kind of practice that's going to help you become aware of your body, and intimate with your body, to know what it can do and what it can't do, where it needs to go, where it doesn't need to go. That's what we're going to focus on here tonight. Burning your body, merging with your body. Sometimes it feels like we're fighting with our body. I don't want to do that. I want to partner with your body, mind and your body, working together to get anything done. So we're going to just strengthen that connection here between the mind and the body. Now, when we're ready to start our movement here, you're on your back, right? I'm going to do it first. Take that right knee, hug it into your chest. Take your left leg and extend it long. Move up a little bit here so maybe you can actually see my left leg. No, left leg. All right, my left leg is extended. I'm hugging that right knee in. Now you want to angle that right knee just slightly back toward your right armpit. Just hug it in really tight. Like wrapping your hands around your shin. pulling it in. And maybe you want to circle your ankle around a little bit. One direction, and the other direction. If you'd rather just stay still, it's okay. We're not going to be here for a really long time. We just want to start to let our body open up. Think about your left leg, right? And pressing that left thigh bone down to the floor. Four more breaths here. When you're ready, you're going to take that right leg and just kick it up to the sky. Flex your foot so your heel's going up towards the ceiling. Now, you're going to grab high around your right thigh, so almost up to your hip with your hands, right? What we're going to do here, we're going to walk or climb the mountain, right? That's what I like to call it, climb. We're going to climb up. We're going to walk down, but we're going to climb up, right? So you start to walk your hands, just hand over hand, along the back of your right leg. Maybe it pulls a little bit closer to you, but don't bend your knee, right? You're trying to walk up as high as you can. Maybe all you do is get a few steps up the mountain. Maybe you get all the way up to your ankle or your foot. Maybe you're just somewhere on your calf or your knee. It's all good. Let your head and shoulders lift. So you're bringing your nose and your knee together, just so you can feel that extra stretch in your hamstring, right? You don't have to strain yourself. You're not trying to do a crunch here or anything, right? And then from there, you're just going to walk yourself back down. Let your head and shoulders come all the way back down to the mat. Walk your hands back up to your thigh. Now we're going to do that twice more. As you inhale, climb the mountain, whatever that is for you. And then walk it back down. Let's get all the way back to the ground with your head and shoulders on the ground. Your hands on your high thigh. We're going to do it one more time. We climb the mountain as high as we can. Maybe this time you reach the peak, maybe not. And then walk it back down. Walk all the way back down this time. Now you're going to bend back in to your right knee. Right? Let your left arm go out long. So my left arm's going right on my body. My left palm is flat on the ground. I'm going to take my right hand to the outside, or to the inside, my right knee. And push that right knee to the right. Now you want the knife edge of your right foot to come down to the mat. The sole of your right foot is against your left inner thigh, and you're just using that right hand to press that knee down. So it's called fallen tree. I'm just going to flip around towards the front for a second, so you can see what I'm doing here. I'm here with that right sole of the right foot against the left inner thigh, pushing that right knee open. My left arm is straight out to the left, and I'm looking over my left shoulder. So it's just like when we do a tree pose, right? And we're standing, and we're here, we're laying on our back. And you still want to try to flex that left foot, press that left thigh down to the ground, engage both legs. Stay here for a minute or so. Now from here, you're going to take that right knee. Now you're going to take your right hand, bring your right hand to the outside of your right knee, push back up to center, and then switch out your hands. Bring that left hand over, take your left hand outside your right knee, let your right arm go out long in that T position, and then guide that right knee over to the left side of your body. Look over your left shoulder. Just a single knee twist right here, keeping that right shoulder now anchored to the ground. I like to let my right foot kind of rest along my left thigh. Yours comes naturally to the ground. Maybe you can even get your right knee to the ground. If that's you, go for it. Are you looking over to the right now? When you feel that stretch in the right hip, right glute. And a minute here. Stay in all these poses a little longer in yin. So you can really feel them. So you can surrender to them. Fullest expression of what this pose is. Sometimes we can't get to that. We're just staying here for a breath or two. back up. Or sorry, sitting left, it's the right knee. Pull the right knee back up. You're gonna give it another hug into your chest. We'll do the left side in a minute here, right? But really pull that right knee all the way in. Angle it just a little bit towards that right armpit, like you're gonna bring that right shoulder down, or that right knee down right into your right armpit. 2 more breaths here. And then let's switch everything out. Take your right leg, extend it all the way along. Take your left knee now, hug it into your chest. Okay. Just kind of angling that left knee towards your left armpit here. Letting that left knee in nice and tight as you can. Maybe you start to make those circles with your left foot. In one direction, in the other direction, couple circles each way. You really want to flex into your right foot, so I'm pushing my right toes back towards my face. I'm driving that right thigh bone into the mat. Even as I feel that ankle opening from the circle, that left ankle opening, as I feel that left hip flexor opening from pulling my left knee into my armpit, I'm also getting that opening through the right leg, the right hamstring, and the right hip flexor. Right hand, let it go out long, that T position. And so your right arm's coming straight out of your right shoulder blade. You're taking that left hand to the inside of your left thigh and just letting that left knee fall over to the left. You want the knife edge of your left foot to come down to the ground. You're pulling the sole of that left foot against your right inner thigh, pressing in to that left knee, left inner thigh, where we reach, right? Open up that left knee a little bit more. You take your gaze over your right shoulder. You can look straight up at the ceiling, whatever feels good. Try to open up the left inner thigh, left hip flexor here. Okay. Keep that right leg active. Pressing the thigh bone down, flexing the toes back towards your face. You should feel a little bit of a stretch along the right flexor too. Right, now from here, you're going to take that left hand underneath your left knee, right, stays to the outside of your left knee, pull it back up. I realize I forgot to this climb the mountain, so we're going to do it right here, right? You're going to kick that left leg up to the sky. You're going to take both hands high on your left thigh, right, by your hip. And we're going to climb the mountain here. So really flex that foot, push your left heel up towards the ceiling. You should already start feeling a little stretch in the left hamstring as you do that, right? And then you intensify it by climbing the mountain, walking hand over hand, your hands as high up your left leg as you can. And maybe you get to your ankle or your foot, maybe you're just on your calf or your knee. All good. Right. Next, you're going to walk your way back down, hand over hand. Bring your head and shoulders back to the mat. Bring your hands back high on your left thigh. All right, do it a couple more times. You're going to climb the mountain, get as high as you can, and then walk it back down. Do it one more time. Climb it all the way up. And then walk it back down. Now, so get back down here. Now you're going to bend back into that left knee. Let your left arm go out long this time. Take your right hand to the outside of your left knee and guide slide that left knee over to the right side of your body. So letting your left hip float up off the mat. You can anchor your left foot somewhere on your right thigh or on the ground, it's good. You're looking over your left shoulder. You should feel this right through the left glute, left hip. Single knee twist as opposed to that double knee twist or supine twist we do at the end of class. Kind of isolates the sensation in that left hip. That's what we're going for here. Ready here. Hold that left knee back at the center. We're going to give that one final hug in, right? So you're angling it towards the left armpit like that. Left knee can snuggle right in there in your left armpit. Right? Hug it in tight. Keep pressing that right thigh bone down. Pressing the right toes towards your face. More breaths. And then when you're ready, what you're going to do here is bring your right knee into your chest as well, right? Now you've got both knees hugged into your chest. Now let's turn back to the side, right? And we're going to do our lumbar circles here. And just wake up the spine a little bit more. Let your knees go over to one direction or the other, then push them away from your body. Bring them to that other direction, then pull them all the way back in. As you're making little circles with your knees. I like to do it with my hands on my kneecaps. You can do it with your hands wrapped around your shins if that feels better to you. But you're circling around that sacrum, the low part of the back. It should feel good. Okay, make your circles as big or small as you want them to be. Let's take about 3 or 4 more this direction. And bring your knees back to center. Now let's go the other way. You're going to take your knees over to the left. Push them away from your body, bring them to the right, and then all the way back in. So we're circling around here. Eventually, right, you're going to hug those knees all the way into your chest again. Now you're going to let your feet come down to the mat. So your feet are flat on the mat. Right, so this is where we're going to use our block. Right? So you're going to pick this block up. And then you're going to lift your hips up. You're going to slide the block underneath your hips. You can be down at your low level. If you want to take it to your medium level, you can. I wouldn't recommend going to high level here. Right? But you want your hips to be resting on that sacrum, the part of the back we were just circling around, right? That's where you want that block to be, supporting that sacrum. Should feel good right here, nice and relaxing. Now if you don't have a block, right, maybe you can take a blanket and roll it up underneath your back, or a couch cushion, slide it underneath your back. All you want to do here is elevate your hips slightly. Maybe you have a really thick book, right? You slide it under there, let yourself rest on it. You just want to get those hips slightly elevated. So anything you have that can slightly elevate those hips, that's what's going to do the job here. Now, from here, you're going to keep that left foot planted on the ground. Take your right knee, and just like we were doing before, hug it in to your chest. And this time you don't have to angle it out, right? I want you to bring it right toward the center, like you're trying to bring it right to your nose. Trying to bring that right knee right to your nose. Squeeze it in tight. Now you start to feel it maybe through the quad a little bit, right? Quad. Now, you can keep that left foot planted here. If you want to, you can extend it long. You can't see me on the camera anymore. My left heel is resting on the ground. Again, That'll intensify it in the left leg and left hip flexors. If that doesn't feel great, you can keep that left foot just planted on the mat. You decide. Where does it feel better? We're going to hang out here for a few more breaths. And then I just want you to add, right, those circles. So it's like those stir the pots we do when we're laying on our, flat on our back, but here we've got the block. Just start to bring the knee towards the inside of your body, take it away, bring it to the outside of your body, and bring it back in. Right, keep that left leg nice and steady while you do this. And again, just like when we were doing those lumbar circles, you can make these stirs as big or small as you want, or circles as big or small as you want. Again, if it feels better to then bend back into the left knee and plant it on the ground, you can do that. Keep that sacrum though pressed against the block. All right, as you bring that knee back in again, now switch directions, go the other way. And then come to stop here, and really just hug that right knee in for a couple more breaths. And then release that right knee. Let your right foot come back down to the mat. Take that left knee now. Hug that left knee all the way in to your chest. You can keep that right foot planted on the mat here, or you can extend your right leg. First, we're just squeezing that knee in. Right now, you're taking it not to the outside of your body like we were when we were flat on our back, but a little more towards the inside, like you can touch that left knee to your nose. And start to feel it through your quads a little bit more. You might still feel it in the hip flexors, I do. Here, we're going to start to stir the pot again, right? This time with our left knee as the spoon. So you can bring it towards the outside of your body or the inside of your body first. Let's go the inside first, right? And you're circling around. Take that knee to the inside, you push away from your body, you bring it to the outside, and you pull it back in. Circling around here. Again, if you want to plant that right foot instead of extending it long, that's fine too. Got 5 more circles here. Come to stop here to finish your next circle, and then switch directions. You take that knee to the outside, then away from your body, then to the inside and back in. So the same circle, just going the other way. Like I said before, these can be as big or as small as you want them to be. Eventually, you're going to come to a stop here. Right. Now, hug that left knee back in. More breaths. And then you're going to release that left knee. Now, take it back down. Put that left foot back flat on the floor. And then take your right foot,
Bring it also to the floor. So you're back in that supported bridge. Okay? You can keep your hands down for this part with your palms flat on the mat at your sides. You can take them both out to a T if you want. You can lift them overhead if you want. You can rest them on your belly. Right, here's what we're going to do here, right? You're just going to take your right leg, right? Kick it straight up to the sky. Really flex that right heel. And then drop it all the way down. So you're just letting that right leg come down. And when you feel your heel hit the mat, bend back into your right knee, put your foot back on the ground, right? Then do it with the left foot, right? Kick that left leg straight up to the sky. Drop it down so you feel your heel come to the ground. Bend back into it, right? Then go back to the right. Kick it up. Drop it down. And back into it. Pick it up. Drop it down. And back into it. A few more times, just alternating your sides, right? As I said before, we're not controlling our breath. You're just letting your breath do what feels natural, right? It might mean that you're inhaling on the way up, exhaling on the way down. Maybe it doesn't mean that for you though, right? It's one of those things for you to just be aware of what your body wants to do, left to its own devices here, as far as breathing goes. Let's do a couple more on each side. Last one. Let your feet come down. Now, we're going to lift our hips up here. Slide that block, whatever you've got underneath your hips, out from underneath you. Let yourself come back down. Once you're all the way back down with your hips flat on the mat, just roll to one side or the other. We're going to push ourselves up to seated here. Now we're going to come here into easy sit. Doesn't matter which leg you put in front first. We're going to do two different things here. We're going to have whatever leg you've got in front first this time. Next time, we'll switch it out. Take your hands to the tops of your knees. And we're just going to do a couple seated cat-cows here, right? So you're going to pull against your kneecaps. Bend your elbows, bring them back towards your ribs. Push your chest through your shoulder blades and take your chin up to the sky. Right? That's your seated cow. And then from there, you're going to push into your knees with your palms. Let your elbows turn out to the sides. Tuck your chin to your chest and round out. Right? So we're just going to move back and forth between those two positions. Right? We come to the cow, pulling on the knees, elbows towards the ribs, chest up, chin up. Push through the knees, elbows out to the sides, tuck the chin up, round the back. That's your cat. And then you bring it to your cow. Take your cat. Bring it to your cow. Again, you're going to find your own rhythm, your own pace here. Pay attention. Maybe you are matching your movements to your breath. If you're not, it's okay. Maybe subconsciously. Practice enough yoga. Your body will start doing that without you even thinking about it. You'll notice that your body and breath are in sync. Again, that's not the point again, so I don't want you to get too caught up in that. But just something to pay attention to, because like I talked about, what yin is all about is body awareness. Knowing what your body is doing, what your body can do, what your body is likely to do in any situation. Let's just take a couple more rounds here. Last one. And then come all the way up, sit up tall. Now, we're going to switch our legs out here. You're going to bring probably a more awkward leg in front, unless you chose to start with your more awkward leg, but it's all right. Right? All we're going to do here, you're going to keep your hands on your kneecaps, and we're going to circle our hips. So you're going to lean all the way forward here. So you're leaning forward, bringing your chest parallel to the ground, getting the crown of your head towards the front of the room, pressing into those knees. Your elbows are going out to the sides. Push into your left knee, so you straighten out your left arm and you lean to the left. Then you're going to straighten both arms and lean all the way back, pushing into that right knee, bend into that left elbow as you lean to the left, and then lean back forward. So we're just circling around here. Keep going with these circles. Lean around to
Control your breath, but be aware of your breath. Making your breaths deeper and longer. Now, next time you're leaning all the way forward, just take a little pause and switch directions. Let's come the other way. We're leaning forward, we lean to the left, we come up. Lean to the right, come back. Last round here. Next time you're leaning all the way forward, take a little pause, and then push yourself all the way up. All right, so now we're really going to get into the hips. We're going to do a pose called shoelace pose. So we're all going to start with the right leg first. So what I want you to do is have your left shin come across the top of your mat. So your left foot's going over to the right. Now, you're going to use your block, right? And you're going to put that block, I'm going to show you how to do it with a block first. I'll show you what to do if you don't have a block in a second. Okay. Put that block in front of your left knee, right? Now you're going to bend into your right knee. And you're just going to drop that right foot on the block. So you look like this, right? Ideally, you're getting that left foot right underneath your right knee, and your right foot is just in front of your left knee, right? So it's a version of shoelace. It's the version I like to do. It's a little kinder, a little gentler, and we can still really get into the hips, right? So you're just going to bring your hands in front of your right shin and walk as far forward as you can, right? The further you walk forward, the more you're going to feel that stretch in your right hip. Maybe all you do is get your hands barely in front of that right shin, and that's enough for you. That's okay, right? Now, if you don't have a block, the full version of shoelace, right? You take your right ankle and you put your right ankle right on top of your left knee, right? If you're using the block, you're just folded forward and you're all good, right? You can listen to me blabber, but you're already in the pose. Now, you can have that right ankle on top of the left knee, but you want your right toes hanging off, right? It's not here where I've got my right foot in the crook of my left knee, right? That's a locust pose. It opens a different thing. We're looking for that hip opener. So your foot's here. Now, that might mean there's a lot of space here, and this can be really awkward for some people, right? I can still, if I try really hard, get my hands to go over my right shin, and I could do the pose like this if I needed to. Maybe some of you can, right? If it feels too awkward and you don't have a block, then you're just going to drop it into easy sit. But you want to make sure, easy sit is where we just were when we were doing those hip circles, but you want to make sure your right leg is the one in front. Then bring your hands in front of the right shin and walk it all the way forward, right? We do that all the time in Vinyasa class. As part of the warm-up, we don't stay for as long as we're going to stay here, right? But it's going to open the same muscle. So you choose which version. If you have a block, your ankle's up on the block. Maybe you're doing the full version of shoelace, right? Or maybe you're just an easy sit. Find your version. Stay here another 2 minutes. few more breaths here. And then we're slowly going to bring it back up. All right, so now we've got to do this pose on the other side. So take that right foot off, right, set it down. You're going to switch it out completely. So you're going to bring that right foot across your mat at first, right, getting that right shin parallel to the front of your mat. And then you're going to take the block, put it in front of your right knee. Again, if you've got the block and this felt good to you on the other side, probably feels good on this side too. Just drop that left ankle on top of the block in front of your right knee. Try to get that right foot as much as you can right underneath the left knee. Get that left heel touching, literally the right knee, right? That's how close you want them. And then you're going to bring your hands in front of your left shin and block it forward. Again, if you don't have a block, right, you can just put that left ankle on top of the right knee. Let that left knee fall open, right? If I had perfect flexibility, I would have no space between my right knee and my left knee and my right foot. But of course, that's not happening for me. It doesn't happen for most people, right? So if you've got a little bit of space and it feels okay, you can still just walk it forward. If that feels too awkward and you don't have a block, then just come into easy sit and walk it forward like this. There's all different places you can go. You're going to feel this more in your left hip now. So if you're coming to easy sit, make sure it's your left leg that's in front, even if that's your awkward leg. Get that sensation in the left hip. Slowly start to come up here. Right? And now we're going to slide that left foot off the block. You can put the block off to the side. Just take your legs out long in front of you. Right? So now both legs just long in front of you. Right? And we're going to come into just a seated forward fold here. Now if you want to, you can do it like we always do and take your hands up to the sky and kind of dive it forward. Or you can try, right, just taking your hands to your thighs and just start to slide down here. Right? See how close you can get your belly to your thighs. See how far forward you can slide your hands without rounding your back, right? So you're looking up, or you've got the crown of your head right towards your toes. What you're not going to do is tuck your chin to your chest and try to get the forehead or the crown of your head towards your knees, right? Just bring your chest forward. It's yin, so it doesn't have to be that deep. You need to feel it, right? You don't have to push it. You don't have to grab it. So let your body naturally fall into its version of the pose. bend into your knees. And then you're just gonna let your knees fall to one side or the other. We're gonna come around, right? We're gonna come onto our bellies. I'm gonna come right up here on my belly. And we're gonna come into Sphinx pose. So in Sphinx, bring your shoulders right over your elbows. Your arms are going in front of you, right? So you're kind of pushing into those forearms, pushing into the palms, lifting your chest. Your belly's on the mat. Right? So you should feel this little pull in your low back, right? Try to bring, I know you can't see my feet here, but I'm gonna try to bring them a little bit closer together. Right? So I feel it a little bit more intensely in my back. You know, when your feet splayed out super wide, but you want the tops of your feet on the ground. We're not gonna stay here for a super long time, just for a minute. I want you to feel that little pull in your low back. If you need seal, I definitely don't tonight because I'm already feeling this in Sphinx, right? But if you need seal to feel something in your back, then you would press into your palms and lift your elbows up off the mat and come all the way up. If this feels better to you or feels more appropriate, then you go there, right? It's not for me. My back is not that flexible, but some people are gonna need that to really feel it the right way, right? So play with it. Again, it's your body, not mine. So you know what feels better to you, what your body needs. Take about 5 more breaths here. From here, you're going to let your forehead come down to the mat. Slide your hands back so they're at your chest, right? So your elbows are pointed behind you, your palms are on the ground, your forehead's on the ground. And then just push yourself up with your palms. Come back into child's pose. Let your hips come over your heels. You can take your knees wide if you like that, or you can keep them close together, right? Your arms go long. Come to the mat. Just take a few breaths here. Your hips are a little higher, or your head doesn't come all the way to the ground, that's fine. You can always use a block if you have one. If you can't get your head to the ground, use a little block as a landing place for your head. Sometimes it feels better. Right, now when you're ready here, slowly push up. Right, come through your tabletop, right? So that's that hands and knees pose. And just let your hips come to one side or the other. Right, you're gonna swing your legs around in front of you with your feet on the ground. Okay. Let your hands come back behind you. It doesn't matter which way your fingertips are facing. They face towards your glutes or out to the sides or back behind you. Right. Let your feet come a little bit wider so your toes are kind of at the edges of your mat. And just windshield wipe here a couple times. Let your legs go back and forth, back and forth. More of that tension out of the legs, of the hip flexor, of the low back. And then eventually, let your knees stop at the center, right? And now, you're gonna reach your arms forward, tuck your chin to your chest, let yourself go all the way back down to your back. Right? The feet are still on the ground, right? Now, you're gonna let both knees fall out to the side and bring the soles of the feet together. Come into a bound ankle position here with your legs, your full reclining bound ankle. Your hands can be on your belly, like mine are right now. Your hands can be at your sides. You want to make a little more intensity here in your legs. Maybe you take your hands and press those inner thighs further open. If
feel like you need to stretch your upper body out, reach your arms overhead with the back of your hands on the mat. Right, all great options. Mostly this pose is about the legs, so if you want to feel a little bit more, you can bring your heels in closer to your body. If you want to back it off a little bit, make it a little more relaxed, take your heels further away, make more of a diamond shape. Again, it's your body. This is a body awareness exercise as much as anything else. So, become aware, notice what your body likes, what it doesn't like. Which parts of your legs are you feeling? Notice all of that, right? Build that body catalog in your mind. Stay here for another minute or so. You've got plenty of time to settle in. Surrender completely to this pose. Now from here, bring your knees back together. Your feet come to the ground. Now you're going to hug those knees into your chest again. Let's finish off with a final twist here. Let your arms go out long, both arms, right, like wings in that T position, and then drop your knees over to the right as you take your chin and your gaze over your left shoulder. You want that left shoulder to stay anchored. If you want to make this more, take your right hand, press those knees closer to the earth, or maybe you can extend your legs, your toes go towards your right fingertips, or you can just stay where you are, right? All good options. Just take a few breaths here in this twist. Whether you're doing yin or vinyasa or anything else, it's always good to finish off with a twist, so you can seal off your practice. Let your body remember everything it did tonight. Next time you come practice whatever kind of yoga you like to practice, it all seems a little easier, and you can go everywhere a little deeper. Back up to center. And you're going to let your knees go over to the left. Your chin, your gaze to the right. So same thing here. Maybe you're making it deeper and pressing down those knees with your left hand. Maybe you're extending those legs towards your left fingertips. Maybe you're just staying where you are. Look over your right shoulder. Keep that right shoulder anchored. Give yourself just a few more breaths here to surrender to this twist. Next inhale, bring those knees back up to center. Give them one final hug to your chest. And then let's sit up for our final pose, our Shavasana. You can do it flat on your back, your legs extended and your hands at your sides. There's also many other variations you can take. You can put a blanket or a block underneath your head. Maybe you put the block underneath your knees. It takes pressure off your low back. Right? Maybe you bend your knees or butterfly your legs like we did in that reclining down ankle. Just find your comfortable place. Right? For those of you that are here in the studio, I'm going to come around with the sea salt spray to put on your towel. Hold it out for me, I'll spray it. It has to touch anything. Here at home, right, you can spray your own towel, or just put a towel over your eyes, or just close your eyes. Okay. Find that place where you can be, that you're perfectly comfortable, where you can stay perfectly still, and most importantly, where your mind is going to be able to go perfectly quiet. You're still focusing on that breath. Now you're kind of letting it guide you. Last hour, becoming one with our body, merging our body and our mind. So now let both of them just feel heavy and quiet. Your breath guides you right to that place. There's nothing left in your mind but you and your breath. That's your true quiet mind. Slowly start to come back into the room. Wiggle your fingers, your toes, feeling that in-between sensation that comes with a quiet mind. If you want to here, you can take your arms overhead. Nice, full, deep body stretch. And from there, just let yourself roll over onto your right side. In the fetal position, take a couple breaths right there just to reacclimate to our space. Come back to you. Take as long as you need right here. Then when you're ready, hold and ready. Push yourself up to seated. And get closer. So let's close with our two Mari breaths and then an Om. The Mari breath, we inhale, as we exhale, make that little humming sound in the back of the throat. The Om is the universal syllable, uses all parts of the throat. You can join me in these breaths or you can just listen. Let's close our eyes here. We'll inhale together. Inhaling again.
lift open. Bring your hands to heart center. Thank you, all of you, for sharing your energy, your practice with me this evening. The light in me honors the light in each of you. Namaste. Alright. I will see you all on Saturday for some slow flow. I think Kelly's going to be here tomorrow morning with some dance jam, so come join her, and I'll see y'all soon. Bye.